When I was in 6th grade, I was obsessed with the concept of a perpetual motion machine. I tried to draw one, and it's not too hard to do, but, you can draw things that you can't create in reality. So, this kind of, it made me think of this today when I was talking about Jupiter, and I was talking to my father about physics and stuff, and Jupiter is radiating heat, obviously like the Earth, because of the pressure, the immense pressure causes heat to build up at the core, and it also is radiating heat because there are nuclear elements, there are isotopes inside that are radiating radiation. So, with that in mind, it's kind of like a star, not, a high energy star. It really is a failed brown dwarf. They usually refer to brown dwarfs as failed stars. And so, something like a brown dwarf is going to last an immensely long time. From what I understand, a brown dwarf is going to burn for longer than our universe has currently been in existence. So, a very long time. Whereas our star is eventually going to die, and, die by running out of things to burn. And when it does that, it's going to do that in about less than half the length of time that has passed since the universe began, from what we know. So, it leaves you wondering, if Jupiter is radiating heat, it must be losing some amount of mass, because heat is light, and light has some mass, even though it's almost none, since solar sails exist. So, the question you're left with is, how long would it take for a given amount of weight to be lost from Jupiter by radiating so much heat? And in that length of time, how much stuff falls into the planet? And I would be willing to guess that it probably is going to gain more mass than it loses, because it's such a massive body, it's going to be pulling things into it. So the question there is Jupiter a perpetual motion machine? Is it ever going to reach a point where it can no longer generate heat based on its mass and pressure? It's really a conundrum, something that I don't understand, and maybe a physicist out there who does understand this could give me some explanation as to what's going on there. Not what's going on, but some insight as to how something like that could take place. Whether it's infinite, or, obviously it's not infinite because things are finite. There's no such thing as a perpetual motion machine. But as far as we know, the universe is just going to expand into nothingness. There could be a big crunch, in which case it would pretty much be infinite. But even if it expands forever into nothingness, that will be the point at which Jupiter will no longer have things close enough for it to fall into, and it will be radiating heat, and eventually it will diminish. It will kind of evaporate like a black hole. At least that's my theory.